probability. 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 In math, when we talk about probability, probability is the likeliness of something happening. Of something happening. And generally speaking, for all intents and purposes, we usually express probability in a fraction form. We'll draw a little fraction line here. This is 0, and this is the whole number 1. Okay. If something has a 0 probability, okay, if it has a 0 probability, it will be impossible to happen. Impossible. That would be 0. If something has a 1 probability, it will be certain it's going to happen. With my finger right there, certain. Now, usually, probability things happen somewhere in the middle. Like, for example, the fraction 1/2 means it's like a 50-50 thing. It is as likely as not to happen. As likely as not. If you flip a coin, it should be a 1/2 probability. Because that's why people flip coins, is because half the time it should fall on heads, half the time it should have on tails. And then all the fractions that are less than 1/2, okay, if it falls somewhere in this range here, it's unlikely to happen. And if it falls here, it would then be likely to happen. Now that doesn't mean it's going to. You know, something can have a 1/4 probability of happening, and it could happen because there's just a small window that it could happen. Same thing, something could have a 3/4 probability, which means it's likely and not happen. That's just kind of the way things work there. Now, how do we find probability? Oh, well, maybe they don't ask us this. Well, we can write this down here. Here is how we find probability. Probability is made by this fraction. Probability is made by the fraction. On the bottom of the fraction is the total. Gosh, why is this not writing? Total number of outcomes. Total number of outcomes. On top is the desired one, which won't, or derized. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. The desired one. So, for example, let's say you have a spinner. My spinner is cut into 4 pieces. This is A, B, C, and D. And you've got this little spinner thing. If I asked you what the probability, by the way, in math we use the letter P, big capital P to stand for probability, so we don't have to write it out. And then in parentheses, if I asked you the probability of spinning a bee, the probability of spinning a bee, that would be this. How many total different choices are there? How many different sectors, Caleb, there are? 4. You could get an A, a B, a C, or D. And then the top is how many of those are B's?
4.
There's just 1. So the probability of me spinning a bee is 1/4. So is that likely or unlikely?
Unlikely.
It's unlikely. It may happen. It says likely, it's not. Just like winning the lottery. Is that unlikely? Very much so.
Yeah.
It's almost close to impossible, but it's not. But like the lottery says, somebody's gonna win, it might as well be you. Or what if you have a dice, a die? Let's draw a three-dimensional cube, a number cube.
Yes.
Let's try that again. So we got like a 1 here, and on this side we'd have a 2, and this side we'd have a 3, and then on the side you can't see whatever they are. You have to know something about cubes. What would be the probability of you rolling a 3? Well, that would be the fraction. How many different sides are there to a number cube? 6. And how many of them are 3s? Just 1. How about this? Let's mix it up a little bit. What would be the probability of rolling an odd number? Still 6 sides on the cube. How many of those 6 numbers are odd numbers? 1, 3, and 5. So 3 of them. Probability of rolling an odd is 3/6, which is actually 1/2. Because that just goes down to that. What else? Let's do one more. Write this down. There are 5 red, 3 blue, and 2 yellow marbles in a bag. What's the probability of drawing a yellow marble? If this comes up on your homework, I would very much like to see you sketch out a nice little bag so you can see this. What do I have? 5 red marbles. So there's my 5 red marbles. 3 blues, blue, 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 and 2 yellows, just so you can see if this is supposed to be a red. I'd like to see that, and then you can just write down the probability of a yellow would equal, how many total marbles are in the bag?
10.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And how many of those 10 are yellow marbles?
2.
2. So my probability is 2/10. Again, it would be unlikely that you would draw the yellow, but maybe. Or this one, what's the probability of drawing a red or a yellow? Same thing, still 10 marbles in the bag. How many of them are red or yellow? 5 reds, 2 yellows makes 7. Yeah, red and yellow makes green. So the probability would be 7/10, which would be likely that you would draw that there. Got probability? Now, take out a blank piece of paper because we have to write down one more thing. On top of a blank piece of paper, write the word chance. Related to probability is chance. And this will be quick. Chance is really the same as probability. Except in percent form. And something that should help you with that is when you listen to the weather report, they always give you the chance of rain, and when they tell you the chance of rain, they will say there's a 30% chance of rain, or a 80% chance of rain, or a 100% chance of rain. So if you were doing the same line that we did for fractions, 0% would mean there's no way, although it has rain when they say 0%. 100% would mean that it's certain to rain, and then 50% is maybe, maybe not, it's in the middle. Okay. 25% would be not likely to rain, 75% would mean that it's probably going to rain, but chance is always written in percent. So that's all you need to know about that. It's the same thing as probability, just in percent form. This concludes